Okay, good morning once again. Today we're going to begin our lesson by learning how to navigate through install R and RStudio and navigate through that language, that software. Okay, how do we install R? First, R is a freeware. Okay, so no problem with any fee. Okay, unlike other softwares like SAS, Stata, where you have to pay a fee to make use of it. Okay, unless of course you're violating intellectual property rights, okay, which I don't encourage. Okay, so we're going to make use of R, which is, as I said, a freeware. And how do we install R? Okay, so let's go to cron. Type cron in your Google search. Okay, if you type cron, you will have here the first in the list here is the comprehensive R archive network. So let's open this. And by the way, if I'm going too fast, kindly call my attention. Okay, and I will pause once in a while, class, in order to check on you to see if you're able to follow. So like this one, I would like to check if were you able to open the CRAN, the Comprehensive R Archive Network. So could you kindly please chat yes, if okay? All right. So how about the rest? One, two. I expect 14 responses from the class because you're 14 in this class. And please feel free to interrupt me during the course of the discussion. All right, already installed, sir, but no PC. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Richard. Okay, of course, if you have installed the package before, no need to install it now. Okay, thank you. All right, so I hope everybody has opened the software, the site, the Comprehensive R Archive Network, otherwise known as CRAN. Okay, so depending on your machine, whether you're using Mac or Windows or you have a Linux operating system, kindly please click this and download the R. Okay, so I'll give you some minutes to download R. Just follow the instructions on how you can download R. The latest release is R 4.2.2. So this is the latest version, and it has a name Innocent and Trusting. So this was released a couple of months ago, 10 October 31, 2022. Okay, so let me pause the recording for a while. Okay, after you have installed R, I suggest that you can create a shortcut in the taskbar here so that you can easily access it. Okay, this is the logo of R. So let me open it, and it will bring you to this. Okay, it will bring you to this interface. Okay, so this is R. This is the console. So let's first take a look at how R looks like. R version 4.2.2. So this was released 2022 October 31, and the name, every time they come up with a version, they give it a name, Innocent and Trusting. All right, R is a free software and comes with absolutely no warranty. You're welcome to redistribute under certain conditions, etc. Okay, it's a collaborative project with many contributors. Okay, you can type demo for some demos, help for online help. Okay, help.start for an HTML interface to help, type Qt to quit. Okay, so why don't we type demo here? Let's see what demo has to what demo in R has to give us. Control Enter. All right. So in this console, you type the code. Okay. For example, it told us that you can type demo for some demos. And when we type demos, we have here, okay, a listing of demos in the package base. Okay. And here demos in the package graphics. And here demos in the package GR devices. Demos in the package stats. Okay, so there are quite a number of demos here. Let me see. Is there a question? Okay, si Edward nag-i-install pa. Sige. Okay. So while it's installing, Edward, you can listen to the. And anyway, I'm going to post this. No, I'm going to post our video recording. Okay, thank you. Good. Thank you, Edward. So if you open, you will have this interface. Okay, I will not go to the demos. Rather, let's take a look at what this interface can do, this R console can do. You can do mathematical operations here, like simple 3 plus 2, and then when you press enter or control enter, it gives you the answer here, 3 plus 2. Okay, if you can get the log of a number, log of 3. Okay, and you can work with more complex operations. Okay, you can create objects which we're going to discuss later. For example, I'm going to create an object called A, and A will is equal to 100. So if I enter this, okay, and then if I want to know what the value of A is, I can write A and then enter. So it prints 100. Or I can type print A, then it gives us 100. Okay, so these are basic examples. So this is just like a very, very big computing pad or calculator, which you can do a lot of things. Okay, let's create, for example, let's create this object B equal to, and B is, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Call it a vector. We have a vector of numbers here, B. And then if I enter this, so B now exists. If I press enter B and then enter again, it will print whatever whatever number we have here, whatever object we assigned to B. Okay, we can perform operations with that. We call it a vector. B plus, let's say B plus A. Okay, A is existing, right? A is equal to 100. And if I type B plus A, and then if I press enter, then you will have here, okay, what do we have here? B is 1 to 10, A is 100. Then what happened was it just added A to all the elements of B. Okay, so far, class? So far, well, this is very elementary, but we're just going through the process of learning how to at least navigate through the interface of R. Okay, are you able to follow, class? Kindly chat, please. It's so far okay lang yung interface natin, yung R console. So it's easy naman pala, no? Hindi naman siya ganun kaharap. Thank you, Min. So far, yes. Thank you. Okay, now what's beautiful about R is that, as I said, there are packages that have been developed by those who are knowledgeable of the language of R and who belong to specific fields of body of knowledge. For example, There are packages that were created for physics. There were packages that were created for chemistry. There are packages that were created for psychology, for sociology. So any field of knowledge, many packages have been written for R. So they contribute this to CRAN, the Comprehensive R Archive Network. CRAN vets it, inspects it, and once it's okay, then they deposit or they store it in CRAN. So any person who would want to use the functionality of that package can easily uh, load those functionalities. Okay, so when you have R, there are packages that come with it. So you can see here, file. Under file, you can create source code, a new script. You can open a script. Okay, there are several functionalities here. You can load a workspace, etc. But we're not going to focus on this because we're going to use a different thing. Okay, and here in the edit tab, this is editing for the console itself. Then view, then we have here some miscellaneous things, and then here the package. All right, so you can install a package, update a package. Okay, you can let's see, you can load a package. You can set the CRAN mirror. So there are many options here that we can do. Okay, and then for Windows here, you can arrange the tiling of the window. You can arrange the icons. Okay, and then here's a help function. Okay, frequently asked questions in R. Okay, manuals. There's a manual here. You can access this, an introduction to R. So let's open this. Okay, because as I know, as master students, you are self-motivated. Okay, and you can learn things on your own. So please take note that you can use this as a reference. That's why I'm I'm not afraid to really discuss this with you, because R comes with a very good instructive resource material. So let me just navigate through, let's say, some of the pages. Okay, like simple manipulations, numbers, and vectors. We're going to meet this later, especially this vector. Okay, but anyway, let me just define that a vector is one of the data structure type in R. Okay, later on we'll define what are data structures. Okay, and one example of a data structure is a vector. This is the simplest of your data structure. Okay, a vector is let's say it's a collection of of either numbers, of letters, etc. And its characteristic is that it contains only one type of data. So take a look at this. Okay, so we have here X. Why don't we copy this? Okay, let me pause for a while. Were you able to open the introduction to R? Let me repeat that process if you missed it. So go here to help, okay, and then manuals. All right, here we have introduction to R. It's a PDF reference. Okay, it's a PDF reference, and there are so many things that you can learn from these references. It's a good beginner's reference. Okay, so I went to chapter 2, simple manipulations, numbers and vectors. Okay, so as I said, we're going to discuss what a vector is, but for now, the different types of data structures are: you have vectors, you have here arrays, matrices, you have lists. Okay, I hope you can see what I'm pointing at here, and you have didn't list here the most important one for us, data frame. Okay, data frame is the most important here lists and data frames. It's the most important data structure for us. But suffice it to say at the moment that the most basic data structure is a vector. So let's copy this. Let's just copy this, Control C, and then I go back to our console, and then Control D. All right. So what will happen in this code? Okay. So here we're creating this object called X. Okay. And then this one, there's a name for this. And again, we're going to discuss that in greater detail later. It's called your assignment operator. Okay. Assignment operator. Let me see. Can I change the font? Okay. No. Okay. I'm sorry. I forgot already how to navigate through the font size. Kasi ang tagal-tagal ko nang hindi nagagamit tong R. Iba kasi yung gagamitin natin. Okay. Anyway, so here we're assigning X to these values, or these values will be assigned to this object called X. Okay, take note of this. This less than and dash, that's equivalent to equal to. Okay, sorry. Okay, may question ba? Okay, here. Okay, sino nagsabi nito? All right. Ito yung ano, ito yung sa. Okay, where did you find this? Sorry Sa edit, hindi, sa view ba siya? View.
Edit, sir.
Edit? Okay, edit. Dito, no? Data editor?
GUI.
Sorry?
GUI.
Sa preferences.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. Nakalimutan ko na kasi talaga. I'm sorry. So, big white sometimes since I used our console. Thank you. Okay, so we can change the size. Okay, and even the font. Okay. All right, then there. Okay, we can now see, we can now have a bigger font. Right, and then what happened? Okay. Okay, here. Hindi ko pa kasi na-run yung yung ato, no? Okay, so we call this assignment operator, and it's equal to, it's just the same as equal to. Okay, sometimes most will suggest not to use equal to because equal to will be used in the equation. So for example, you have an equal to here, and then there's an equation here, a function where you use equal to, that can confuse R. So that's why many would use this less than and then minus, okay, as an assignment operator. So here we're assigning X, okay, to these values. C means concatenate or combine. So when you see this C, it means you're combining all the elements here. 10.4, 5.6, 3.1, 6.4, etc. And when I run this, Control Enter, okay, so that object X has now been created. And if I type X, okay, notice that if I type X and enter, it returns an error term. Now, why is that so? Why do you think?
Uppercase is different from lowercase po.
Yeah, thank you. So R is very sensitive to cases. So we assign this object, it's a small letter X. We assign this name X to these objects, okay? And when I ask R to print capital X, it generated an error term because there's no such thing as far as our environment is concerned, there's no such thing as capital X. So if I type small x and then enter, there, it generated this. Okay, it generated this vector. Okay, and I can perform operations here. Log x, get the logarithm of x, and it will get the logarithm of each of the numbers there. Okay. Now, R has also the capability to plot. Okay, so let's get a data. Okay, let's first. What's good about R is that it comes with many packages. You can install the packages. You can make use of the functionality of the package, and many of the packages come with data sets. Okay, so let's access this data set, data cars. Okay. All right. So it run, which means that there's now this object, data cars. Let's see what happens if we view this. View, and then cars. Okay. So it gives us this output. Okay. So that cars data set has two variables in it. And there are 50 observations. 50 observations. And these are the, it has two variables, speed and distance. Okay. Okay, were you able to follow along, class? Yes, Wilson, please.
Sure. Sorry, sir. Saan nanggaling yung data ng speed sa distance po?
Okay, this data, speed and distance, is from the data cars. Yung tinype natin data cars. Okay, so that is a data set that comes installed with R. So as I said a while ago, si R, kasi may mga, si R itself, may mga packages na pre-installed sa kanya. Okay? And then with these packages are data sets. So we can make use of these data sets easily by just typing data and then whatever the name of that data is. Mamaya, in another IDE, integrated development environment, I'll explain that in a while. I'm going to show you what are the data sets that come with R. Okay?
Sir,
Alvin,
question po. Can we change
sandali,
the values? Ay,
sandali,
sorry po.
Did that answer your question? Who was the one who asked a while ago?
Yes po, Prof. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Alvin, yes?
Can we change the values of ano po, yung mga
This
distance
one?
or speed?
Hindi natin ma-edit, no?
Okay po.
I'll teach you how to do that when we use RStudio. Kasi we're not going to use R really because the interface is quite drab, no? When I say drab, hindi maganda. Yung functionality niya hindi siya, it's not hindi siya maganda talaga, no? I find it too limited siya, no? We cannot really do so much. We can do some things, but not so much as compared to the RStudio. We're going to make use of the RStudio. Okay? Okay. Did that answer
Yes, sir.
your
Thank
question,
you.
Alvin? Okay, thank
Yes
you.
po. Thank you.
Okay. So we can also plot, no? Plot, say cars. Pwede natin i-plot to kasi dalawang variables lang naman siya, di ba? Okay. Dalawang variables lang si cars, speed and distance. So when we ask R to plot that, wala nang choice si R kundi just plot the first axis as the si speed, tapos si Y, distance. So let's see what happens if we plot cars. Okay, here you are. So magge-generate siya ng isang plot, no? Andito si distance sa Y, andito si speed sa X. Okay? So you can do quite a lot in R. However, as I said, it's too limiting. That's why practically nobody will come up with a program with a data analysis. Okay, sorry, na-delete ko. Okay. Okay, anyway. Nag-error. Okay. Sige nga, Blaze, stop share ako. Kindly share your screen, please. Tingnan natin.
Sige sir, wait lang.
Okay. All right.
Actually sir, yung plot cars, may lumabas na yung yung parts sir. Although yung view cars sir, wala. Ito sir, lumabas sa plot.
Quarks. Okay, lumabas yung plot, no?
Yes sir, pero yung view sir,
Yung view, wala.
Opo.
Okay. Pero the mere fact na na-plot niya, ibig sabihin, na-load yung data, no? Let's see. Class, if you see this, nga pala, no, pag ganyan, yung error in view cars, una, tinan natin yung yung sinabi ni Blaze, no? Take a look at yung view cars, yung unang view cars niya. Class, can you see that? Ano nga, Blaze, i-navigate mo nga yung yung mouse mo dun sa unang view cars. Yan, thank you. There. Pakita
Ito
mo sa.
sir.
Yan. Okay, what's the error there? Kasi yung view, it's small v. Dapat yung view natin, capital V. No?
Although sir, yung iba, kinapital ko na like this one.
Kinapital na, okay?
Ito
Sige,
pa rin sir yung lumabas.
Iran mo nga, go down please.
Yan na sir.
Let's see, iran natin yung view cars ulit. Let's see what happens.
Tama sir ito.
Go to another line below. I-type mo ulit. Bagong type ba yan?
Yes sir, apo.
Okay, may space. Dapat walang space.
Dapat.
Walang space dapat.
Yan sir, tama po.
Hindi ko makita.
Nag-share ako sir.
Naka-share ka ba? Pero scroll down mo nga.
Ito sir.
Sige, sa baba pa. Sige, scroll down pa. Kasi hindi ko nakikita yung alright. So dito ang sabi, no? May sinasabi si Sam, no? Okay. You have to check yung yung message. Ang sabi diyan, error check for X quartz file path
Yun nga sir,
X11.
actually, library, install X Quartz.
Alright. So sabi, install X quartz. Install X quartz. So this is a package, no? So naka-Mac ka ba?
Yes sir.
Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, kailangan natin i-install yan, yung X quartz. Sige, install natin. Paki-type dyan, okay, sa code, install .packages. Hindi, hindi yan.
Ay, saan sir?
Sa next line,
Dito na sir mismo.
yan, sa
Okay.
next line, install,
Capital sir?
no, small lahat. Install .packages. Okay, so class, this is how you install a package. Open parenthesis. And then, i-copy mo yung X quartz sa taas, yung capital, hindi yan, yung package na yan. Copy that, Control C.
Okay.
And then put that in quotes. Put it in quotes. I-quotation mo sa loob. Open and close quotation, si X quartz.
Okay sir, sorry.
Yan. Hindi, sa loob. Okay.
Nagdadalawa talaga siya sir.
Ha? Hindi.
Dalawa yun.
Tanggalin mo tanggalin mo yung nasa dulo. Tanggalin mo muna. Doon ka sa harap muna maglagay ng quotes. May quirk ang ang R dyan. Sige, tapos i-copy paste mo na lang si X quartz. Ipasok mo dun sa in between the para
Okay sir.
yan. Okay, sige. I-run mo siya. Enter or control enter. Okay. Pili ka na lang dyan. Anywhere. Siguro Hong Kong or Malaysia. Ibig sabihin ng ng CRAN mirrors, doon naka-store yung mga programs na to. So we can choose to get the program from there. Wala kasi Manila eh. So we can
Anywhere na lang to, sir.
anywhere, Hong Kong or ano, yung pinakamalapit na lang dito.
So, lang Japan na lang, sir.
Ayan, sige, Japan. Sige, okay. Alright, so yan. Yan, nag-install na siya. No? How do we know that installed na siya? Nag-appear na yung cursor na greater than sign. Okay, and then, once you install a package, it doesn't mean that it's already ready for use. Okay, you have to run the code library, pakitype nga, Blaze library. Okay, open and close. Then yung si Xquartz without the codes, no? Okay, sige, run mo yan.
Wherever pa rin, sir.
Wait, it's not available. Okay. It's not, nakalagay, sorry, hindi ko nabasa, no? It's not available for this version of R. Okay, so, okay. For this problem, medyo ang gagawin natin dyan, hahanapin natin through Google kung saan yung repository ng ano, ng, okay, so, may sinabi si Sam dito, no? Thank you, Sam. Punta ka raw dun sa ano, yung sa URL niyan, yung W dot, ayan. Sige, tapos download mo. Yan. Okay. So ito, I haven't encountered this because for R, I'm not using a Mac. No? So this is something new for me. Thank you, Sam, for sharing. Yeah. It will really help class for us to help each other, help one another. Kaya thank you so much.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay. Okay na?
Downloading, sir.
Sige, download. Tapos, let's try again yung view, no? Sam, sa'yo nag-run yung view? Okay. Okay daw kay Sam. Sige nga, try natin.
Ito, sir, yung paano.
Subukan natin sa view. View ulit muna. Tingnan natin kung pwede na yung ano, view cars. Yan. Yan, pwede na. Ay, hindi pa rin. Yung sabi, unable to start, unable to open display. Kaya i-library mo nga, i-install packages mo si Xquartz. Subukan mo mag up arrow, down arrow. Blaze.
Sorry, sir.
Up, down arrow. Yan. Lalabas yung mga previous na commands. Yan. Para hindi mo na isulat ulit, no? Then you can run that.
Here, sir. Install that packages.
Ayan.
And then exports also, sir.
Hindi. Akit ka pa. Kasi na-write mo na, you were able to write that before. Yan. Hindi pa. Isa pa. Sige pa. Up. Yan. You can access the previous codes that you wrote. Up, down, arrow lang. Yan. Ang sabi dito, wala pa rin, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wala pa rin. Anyway, so, sige, let's just see how that can be. May message naman dito. Okay.
Sige, sir, i-work out ko na lang, sir.
I'll work out na lang, ha?
Okay.
Blaze, I'm sure you'll be able to decipher that. Okay, so, and besides, anyway, we're not going to make use of R. All right, so, okay. Now, I leave you, class, to navigate through this. Okay, maraming, you can learn a lot from this. Okay, so we have here, dito may statistical models, ha? May statistical models dito, and then you have the codes here. Okay, ito yung mga codes that you can use. You can experiment if you want to really enhance your knowledge in R. You can
Ay,
have,
sir, naka-share.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Share screen ako. No? Okay, as I was saying, this is the PDF manual, quote unquote, on Introduction to R. Okay, this lots of things that you can learn here. In fact, class, if you go through this, kasi ito yung mga codes, no? Okay, you can go through this, and then you will really learn a lot. Ako nung nagsimula ako sa R, but this came later kasi, and I've been using R for maybe 20 years na. Pero you know, I cannot say that I'm a master or I'm an expert in R. You know why? Because nag-evolve ang R eh. And there are many functions, many packages that have been deprecated already. When I say deprecated, hindi na siya pwedeng gamitin. Kasi pinalitan na siya ng iba. No? So marami kong alam na functionalities dati na hindi na nag-work. So you have to keep on updating yourself, upgrading your skill set mo dito. No? Pero it's really a good tool. Marami talagang pwedeng magawa. Ayan, ANOVA tables. Okay? And ito medyo advanced itong generalized linear model. Okay? So ito LM, this is used for linear model. Yan ang gagawin natin. Magfo-focus talaga tayo dyan. So if you want to learn, go ahead and to advanced learning. Of course, ang daming tutorials na class. Magsasawa kayo sa YouTube is so much awash with so many tutorials on R and RStudio. Okay, so let's go back now to our discussion. We're not going to use R. Hindi natin gagamitin to. But you first have to install R in order to make use of the functionalities of this. What we're going to use is what we call an IDE. Type nga dito. Okay, so punta tayo dito sa edit, GUI preference. Ito, sa size, 32. Yan. Masyado malaki, pero okay lang. What we're going to use is what we call an IDE. An IDE is an integrated development environment. So what's this? Environment. Okay. Sorry. Mali. Environment. Okay. What's an IDE? Well, an IDE is another software. Okay. R is a software. So, in effect, we're going to use another software to make use of the R software. Ganun yun. What's the rationale for that? Because the interface of R is so basic. Okay? So I'm sure you'll agree with me later on when we now install RStudio. See, RStudio is an IDE. It's an integrated development environment, and it fits really to a T yung R. Okay? It was made really for R. But as we go along, we'll learn that RStudio has evolved, and it can now be used also for Python, for Julia, for other statistical languages. In fact, ang bagong pangalan ni RStudio is POSIT. No? POSIT na yung pangalan niya. No? Binago na kasi to remove the impression that it's only used for R. Kasi RStudio, isipin kagad natin, for R lang yan. No? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to download natin si RStudio. So sa Google, ilagay natin RStudio download. Okay? RStudio download. Yan. Okay, now we can here. Okay, do you see here RStudio desktop POSIT? Do you see this? Paki-unmute na lang. Yes, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's click this. RStudio desktop POSIT. Sabi ko nga, yun ang bagong pangalan ni RStudio, this one. All right. So we have here, you can actually install R here. and this one. Install RStudio. For Windows, tapos sa ilalim, meron yun for, ito yung for Windows, for Mac. Okay, so pick your choice. Okay, for Windows, pwedeng ito na mismo. Alright, so install na siya. I'll give you a few minutes, a few seconds. Pause recording. And then when you're ready, okay, also create a shortcut dito sa tab. Sa tab, ito yung icon ng RStudio. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Let me pause recording first. Okay, now kindly open your RStudio, and most probably you'll have a different different appearance. So let me first, okay, but definitely you'll have these tabs, right? File, edit, code, view, etc. Do you have these tabs, class, for your RStudio? Kindly chat, please, if you have those tabs. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, could you kindly count how many window panes you have there? When I say window panes, this one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. How many window panes do you have? 4, 3, 3. Okay, 3. Okay, there are actually 4 window panes. 3. Okay, there are 4 window panes. So I'll explain in a while. So there's this what we call the source window or the script window. Okay, and you have the environment window. You have the console. This is the one that we see in R. This console. Okay, if you recall, when we open R, okay, this is the R console, which is this one. Okay, and then we have 3 other consoles that come with RStudio. Now, it's important to understand that R is the main software here. Okay, RStudio is just an IDE, integrated development environment. In other words, RStudio will not run if you didn't install R. Okay. Let me use an analogy. If you have a car, the engine is R. The dashboard is the RStudio. Okay? The engine can run without the RStudio, without the dashboard. But the dashboard will not run without the engine. Okay, so that's the analogy. The dashboard helps us to understand more how the machine is performing. So that's the RStudio. Okay, so when you install your R, the default most probably will be, okay, let me first change the default. Appearance, okay, I think it's Chrome siya. No? I think Chrome siya. All right, and then let me just, okay. Okay, most probably this is how your environment looks like. Am I right? Class, could you kindly chat, please, if we now have the same interface? Of course, except for these files here. Okay, thank you, Mark. How about the rest? Do we have the same interface now? Okay, now we can change the appearance of the interface. Okay, in my case, I have here the console. Okay, this is the script window. Okay, different arrangement. Yes, thank you, Min. And then you have here the environment and the files. It's possible that we have different arrangements of the window panes, but we can change that. Okay, we can change that. So let's go to tools here. tools. So here you have here some functionalities. If you want to install package, that's just like what we learned a while ago. We can install. By the way, sorry. Okay, very sorry about this. So let's take a look at this interface. So as we mentioned a while ago, this is your RStudio interface, and the name now of RStudio is POSIT. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can navigate through this interface. Now there are 4 window panes. Sometimes you might think that you're only seeing 3, but it's because one is minimized. So maybe it's hidden like this. So here I'm only seeing 3, but actually there's another one below. So I can either you try to access that below and increase the size. Okay, the sizes here can be increased top to bottom, left to right. So these are adjustable sizes, especially, which is good because sometimes you might need more space for a particular window pane. Okay, now how do we change the arrangement of this? So we can change the arrangement of this by going to, okay, let's wait, maybe there are questions. Okay, so questioning Roby a while ago, how do we how do we arrange how do we arrange the positions of the window panes? Okay, so all right, we go to tools and then global options. Okay, so first, if you would like to change the appearance, okay, here in the tabs here, you'll find your general, code, console, appearance, etc., packages. So take a look at this, R Markdown and Python. There used to be no Python here. Now there's Python, which means that you can work on Python in R Markdown. Okay, so they have developed this IDE in such a way that it has now become more language agnostic, which means that whether you use R or whether you use Python, you can still use RStudio or POSIT, the new name. Okay, so let's first take a look at the appearance. Okay, and then here you can use a particular theme, sky or modern. Okay, the zoom you can increase, and you can choose whatever editor font you wish, and then the size, let me just make it 16, and then here the theme. Okay, you'll have here ambience is quite dark. Okay, chaos is also, I think, dark. Okay, chrome, this is the default. Clouds, okay, clouds midnight. Okay, for me, I prefer cobalt, and I also ask my students which they prefer. Okay, so I'm going to use cobalt. All right, and then for pane layout, you go here, and then you have here the 4 window panes. Okay, so what appears on the upper left in your case? What appears in the upper left? Could you kindly chat, please? Source, okay. Source, thank you. Okay, how about in the, let me make this source. How about in the lower left? Console, okay. Okay, let's use that first. Okay, console. So source here, console here, upper right is environment, right? And then files is down below. Of course, you can change this one. Okay, you just click and see what the window pane that you would want to appear in a particular pane. So let's just maintain this. Okay, and then I'm going to click here. Okay. There. Now my screen has changed. Okay. So we have here the source window pane, and then here is a console. Now this console is what appears in the R software itself. This one. Okay, this is your console. Right? Okay, now we can type here. You can type in the console whatever we type in the R. Okay, for example, let's do some multiplication, 3, 5, anything, just random number here. Enter. Okay, what happened? If you press enter, it did not generate the answer. If I press Control Enter, okay, there. So in order to run a particular code in the source window, this is the source window or the script window. Okay, source or script window, this one. The code will also be generated in the console here. Okay, and then it will generate the output, the result. So just like a while ago, if you get the log of 2, okay, Control Enter, it it generates the code here and then the output. Okay. Now sometimes if we have already a long list of codes here, okay, we might wish to increase the size of this source window. So it becomes quite difficult to now see the answer below because we need a bigger space for our source window pane. Okay. So personally for me, I would rather, so I go to tools once again, global options. I prefer that the console be on this side, on the upper right side, console. Okay, okay. So I changed the position of the console. So the console is now here. Now also from a reading perspective, it's easier to look at the answer on the right side, okay, than on the left side, than on the bottom side. So it's really up to you. For me, I prefer this setup. The console is on the upper right side. The source is on the left side. The environment is here below, and the files, plots, and packages is here below. Okay, is there a question? All right, font size. Richard, is that your question? Font size?
Hi, sir. Yes, sir. To
Okay.
fit the code.
All right, font size. Okay, so same here, tools, and then global options, and then appearance. Appearance, and then here, editor font size. You can make it as big as you want, especially if you have eye issues. 36. Click OK. Then, all right. So it's really up to you. Okay. Did that answer your question, Richard?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for those questions, class. I appreciate those questions. Keep them coming. No? Keep them coming. All right. So, okay. So now that we have known in general how the appearance of the R Studio or the post-it looks like, and let's take a look at some tabs here. Okay, so we have here the File tab, Edit Code, just like in the R interface. File, Edit, View, Miscellaneous. Although there are some differences. Okay, so let's take a look at File. So here, when you want to create a new file, either an R script, a Quarto document. I'm going to explain what these are. R notebook, R markdown. Okay, you can even create a C++ here. Okay, Shiny Web is for creating a web application. So here you have HTML. So there are a lot of things that we can do now with Python script. Okay, SQL, SQL, text file also. You can do that. with the RStudio. Okay, so that's just the new file. You have new project, open file. So there are many options that we can do here. Save a file, save as. So of course you know how to save as your file, okay, or save as. Okay, then we have here edit. This is for your coding. Okay, and then you have also some function here for coding, some functions, extract function, extract variables, and then view, can hide the toolbar, okay, view the panes here, okay, and then there are some shortcuts here. Okay, zoom in is Control plus plus, zoom minus is Control plus minus, quite similar to this is Windows actually. Okay, switch to tab, Control Shift plus, next tab, Control tab, etc. Okay, as we go along, we're going to learn some of the functionalities of this, and then plots. Okay, and then others. Okay, and this is for the coding. And then tools. So you can install new packages here. You can install packages here in R. Okay, let's try one. So tools and then install packages. Okay, let's install one of the most popular, one of the most powerful package in R for data visualization, and that's ggplot2. Okay, a while ago we learned that in order to install a particular package, wait, let me cancel this first. We type install. Okay, once I type once I type ins and then t, there's this called IntelliSense. Okay, R will automatically tell us what are the possible functions that we can use, starting with I and ST. Okay, here install the packages. So I don't need to type install the packages everything. So from there, just press tab. Okay, so you already have that function, install that packages, and then quotes, remember quotes, and then ggplot2. Okay, so this is one way to install that package. Write it in your source code or in your uh, console. So the codes you can type here in the source or in the console. You can type it also here. The difference is that in the console, you'll have this operator, the greater than operator, which means that if this is already flashing, it means that the previous code has been run and R is now ready to accept another code. Okay, if this does not appear yet in the console, then that means it's still running. The previous code or whatever code you run is still running. Okay, so we can also type here install that packages or in the source window, no problem. Okay, but you can also use here the tools tab, and then install that packages. So here, install from, this is the this is usually the case, repository. This is what I was mentioning to you a while ago. So packages are programs that are contributed by different people from different fields, from statistics, from chemistry, from physics, from psychology, social sciences, natural sciences. There are many packages. As of late, I think 20,000, more than 20,000 packages. And that's a lot. Packages from ecology, from geology, from statistics, of course, okay, from data visualization, from data analysis, from machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. So we just type here ggplot2. So this is what we want, ggplot2. And if you want other packages, you can type padding space or comma. Okay, so you can type another package. Let's see, for example, tidyverse. Okay, you can see here tidyverse here, but let's just focus on ggplot2. Okay, and then click install. So why don't we do that? Please click install. I won't install it anymore because I have already installed this. Click install and please chat if okay already. You'll be seeing in the console some messages indicating that the code is being run. And then you'll see this once again, this cursor, which means that the package has been installed already. Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, Min. Thank you, Wilson. Okay, Marge, thank you. Kara, Mitch, thank you. Adine. Okay, Sam, thank you. Okay, let's give a few more seconds to the others. Word, thank you. Okay. James, thank you. All right, I think everybody has installed. But anyone who hasn't installed yet? Okay. Now, what happened? Could you kindly please tell me, unmute yourself. What happened when we installed the package? What appeared in your console? Trace it back. There's a function there that appeared when we chose to install a package via tools. Anybody? Was a code written which you did not write about packages here in the console?
Yes, sir.
What code was that?
Uh, there are lots of codes, sir.
That's the installation, no? But before the installation,
It automatically typed, sir, the one you taught us. Install that
yes,
pack.
correct. Okay, so that's what I meant. It automatically typed here, install that packages. Okay, so even if you run it here through tools or even here, okay, you can do the same thing under tools here under the files, plots and packages, and then here there's this option to install. If I click this, same interface, okay, you get the same process. So several ways to install: either use the tools tab or the packages here and then install, or just type install the packages. All right, so let's first take a look at what ggplot2 is. So let's go here to packages, and then in the search box here you can type gg. If you type gg, then there will be some packages that will appear here. Most probably will not have the same packages here because I have installed others. Okay, so here we have ggplot2, and it's all about create elegant data visualizations using the grammar of graphics. What's good about R and RStudio? Okay, by the way, when I say R, I mean to say RStudio. Okay, so anyway, they're linked to each other. So if you click this ggplot2, it will give us the help the help portion of this package, and you can see here these are the codes, these are the functions that you can make use of. Okay, so these are functionalities. Okay, you can see here, for example, if you're going to create a histogram, okay, there's this function called geom, where's the hist? Here, geom histogram. Okay, so ggplot2, which by the way means grammar of graphics. GG means grammar of graphics. Okay, it's one way, it's one system of plotting. In R, there are, I think if I'm not mistaken, 3 systems. You have the basic plot system. You have also the lattice method, and here you have the grammar of graphics. The grammar of the graphics is one of the most powerful way to plot data. Okay, if you take a look at the description file here, okay, let's learn more about what ggplot2 is. So the package is ggplot2. The current version is 3.4.0. Okay. Okay, it's used to create elegant data visualizations using the grammar of graphics. So the first one who really came up with this one is Hadley Wickham here. Hadley Wickham. Okay, and later on, when more functionalities were added, I think they're now working as a team. And then I see Winston Chang, Lionel Henry. These are very well-known people as far as R is concerned. All right. So it tells us that this is a system of declaratively creating graphics based on the grammar of graphics. Okay. So 3 basic steps. You provide the data. Okay, we choose the data, tell ggplot2 what the data is, and then we tell ggplot2 how do we map the variables. When you say mapping, it's defining what will be your x-axis or your y-axis. Okay, so how to map the variables to aesthetics, which, as I said, means defining what will go to the x-axis and the y-axis, and then choosing the graphical primitives or the shape of the data. Do you want a scatter plot? Do you want a histogram? Do you want lowess? Do you want a bar plot, box plot, etc.? So many things that you can use. Okay, many things that you can do via the ggplot2 function. Okay, and then these are the functionalities. Okay, at least some of them. Okay, these are not all the functionalities. Okay, so let's go back to the help function here. There's an arrow here, previous topic. Okay, these are functions. These are functions that we can use in order to use the functionality of this package. Okay, so all the packages come with this let's say help function with this appendix of the different functions that can be used and how to use them. Okay, so we'll deal with ggplot2 more in the future. Okay, so in the meantime, okay, in the meantime, all right, so let's go back here. Let's now deal with the different R file types that we can use. Okay, when you go here, you can see here the plus. Okay, can you see here the plus? This one. You have it here, you have it there. Okay. How about the others? Paki-confirm nga, please. Okay, thank you. All right. So when we click this, you have here plus either an R script, a Quarto document, a Quarto presentation, R notebook, R markdown, Shiny web app, text file, Python script, SQL script, etc. Okay, I'd like to have a confirmation also from you if you have the Quarto document here. Do you have the Quarto document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, because I discovered a few days ago that some did not contain this. Some did not contain this. If you downloaded, okay, let me just show. Okay, how did we download RStudio? We use this one, right? We use Post-it. But there's actually another site. Let me just show that. Download RStudio. This one. Okay. Download the RStudio IDE. If I click this, it will bring me to another site. Okay, this one. Okay, now a few days ago, when we used this, download the RStudio. So of course we're using the free version, and then these are the options. Okay, Windows, Mac. Okay. Some of the students, when they use this, it did not contain the quarto document, quarto presentation. Okay, which really surprised me because that was the first time that I experienced that. But anyway, I'm glad that all of you have the quarto document because that's what we're going to use. Okay, this is what we're going to use, the quarto document. However, before we discuss the quarto document, we will learn first briefly yung R script at saka yung R markdown. Okay, because the quarto document is actually an enhancement of the R markdown. So if we know R markdown, it's important to know R markdown because there are still some files that are written in R markdown. Okay, and if you're not familiar with that, you might not you might not appreciate this document. Okay, but ultimately, class, all your outputs should be written in a quarto document. Okay, so let's first start with this R script. This is an R script. Okay, so how does an R script look like? You have the source window, you have the console, you have the environment, you have the files and class. So this is an R script. So let's open a new R script here. Here it tells us that the keyboard shortcut is Control Shift N. Okay, so if I click this, all right, so it opens a new instance of R script. Okay, there, exactly the same as this one. Okay, clear so far, class? Were you able to generate a new R script?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you can write the codes there, and then if you write the codes there, it will appear here in the console, and the results will be in the console. Okay. So in an R script, the results of the code will not appear in the source window. It will only appear in the console. Okay. All right. There's another type of document that we can use. All right, and that's a R markdown. Okay, so kindly open an R markdown. Click this, and unlike the R script, it leads us to this one. Okay, so let's put a title here. Let's say COB 5 whatever 516 517. Okay, lesson 1, example only. You may just type anything there. Lesson 1, and then author, write your name, and then for the date, you can either type the date now, 2023 1/28, okay, or you can click this. Okay, you can click this so that it use current date when rendering the document. I'll explain later on what rendering the document is. Okay, because R markdown, unlike the R script that we opened a while ago, has capabilities that really are very powerful as far as publishing is concerned. So if you want to publish the document via HTML or via PDF or via Word, okay, you do that. You can do that using the R Markdown. Okay, so if I unclick this, then it will just put the date today. When I open this tomorrow, it will still be January 28, 2023. However, if we click this, what will appear is actually a function, is a code, so that when we print this, the date of the printing will be the one that appears, okay, and not the date where we created this document. Okay, so a new you can make a document, you can make a presentation. Okay, so this really floors the PowerPoint document, because in the PowerPoint, you just put the text there, the pictures, etc. In a presentation, our Markdown presentation, you can put the codes, the text, and everything, and then you can run the code from that document, from the presentation itself. Okay, so that's pretty neat, because you just need your RMD presentation to show the code itself and then show the results. Okay, for example, you're doing multiple regression, and then you put the code in your presentation, and then you run that code in your presentation, and then automatically the results will appear in the presentation. Okay, so that's nowhere near the capability of a PowerPoint. Okay, and Shiny is for creating websites. And then we also have here from template. Click this. We will not have the same because I already downloaded some. Okay, so there are some templates here. Okay, could you please take a look at your template? What do you have there? Somebody, please. You have also custom theming. Hello, class.
Sir,
Okay.
mine is no templates found.
No templates found. Okay, no templates found. Kasi hindi pa na-install dyan. Later on, I'm going to show you how to install a template. Kasi ito, kunyari itong kay Tufti, one of the forerunners of data visualization, yung template niya, if you're going to access it for R Markdown, grabe ang ganda. No? Ang ganda ng printout. Kasi sabi natin, si R Markdown is really for printing, for publishing your work. So there are now people who write books using R Markdown. Okay? Ginagamit nila yung package na Bookdown. So there's already a package Bookdown which you can use, which you can install in R, and then you can use it to write books. So 3 terms ago, I think, I have students whom I advise sa thesis. Ito ginamit nila. Okay? So hindi na sila nag-Google Docs, hindi sila nag-Word, hindi sila nag-Excel. Ito lang. Okay? So they were able to edit online, no? Tapos it's real time. So when one is editing, makikita ng iba yun. Ganun din sa Google Sheet, di ba? Pero sa Google Sheet, hindi ka makakagawa ng statistical analysis. You'll have to do it elsewhere, kunyari sa Excel, and then copy-paste it, and then i-paste mo sa Google Sheet. Pero dito, class, everything, all under one roof. No? Okay, let me see, may mga questions yata. Okay, no templates, thank you. All right, so later on, I'm going to teach you how to put templates here. Okay, so let's go back here, document. All right, so the default is HTML. Okay, if you want PDF, you will have to install, for Windows, you will have to install this add-in. So pwede nyo hanapin na lang sa internet yan. MyTech add-in for R. Tapos sa Mac naman, MacTech. I don't know why they pronounce it as tech, although it's letter X. So MacTech and MyTech. But for our purposes, we'll just render it as HTML, or you can render it as Word. Pero we'll be using HTML. Okay. All right. Then let's click OK. All right. Let me decrease the Masyado malaki para sa akin. Okay. All right. So what happened? Okay. Did this appear? Sa R markdown natin, ito yung title, author is me, and then date. Take a look at this date. So it's backtick, and then R space sys.date, okay, open and close parentheses, and then backtick again, then quotes. Okay, so we did not see the date today, di ba? But this is a function, so that later on when we print this, when we publish this, when we knit this, yung date na lalabas dito is the date of the printing and not the date of the creation of the document. If you want that the date be when the document was written, then when you start, okay, di ba ito? Okay, so R markdown, di ba? Then you just unclick this. Just type the date of your choice. Okay. Okay, let me cancel this. Okay. So what do you notice about this? The first part. The first part has this three lines, 3 dash. It starts with this 3 dash and ends with this 3 dash. Okay. All right. Richard, are you referring to this one?
Yes, sir, the 3 dash.
Okay. Ano yung comments? What do you mean by comments?
Comments is when yung code mo, it doesn't run
Okay. All
what
right.
is inside the comments.
Okay. So sa R, hindi ito comments, no? Sa R, ang comment natin hashtag, which I'm going to show in a while. Okay, hashtag. Pag hashtag, ibig sabihin comment yun, so R will not run that. Ito, the dash, 3 dashes at the start and 3 dashes at the end, they're used to indicate the start and the end of your YAML. Okay, YAML, no? Si YAML, I'm not sure, pero dami ko na nababasa ang okay, ang ibig sabihin daw ng YAML. Okay, not sure if this is official. I've been trying to check yet another markup language. So yun daw ibig sabihin ng YAML. Yet another markup language. Okay, whether that's the true meaning, okay, we couldn't care less. What's important is this is called the YAML. Okay, yung YAML very important because that sets for example, when you publish a document, ito ilalabas na title, yung author. Tapos dito rin pwede maglagay. We'll learn later on, and as we go on, that you can put here some parameters for your on how to publish this. So pwede natin dito ilagay yung table of contents, kung gagawa ba si R ng table of contents, yes or no, yung bibliography, kung paano gagawin, yung references. So pwede talaga na pang thesis. Okay, so this was, I told my students to use this when I advised them, and it was really very efficient. No? Andiyan na yung code, andiyan na lahat ng statistical analysis dito sa document na yun. Okay, so this is what we call an R markdown file. When you save this, okay, this will contain save muna natin, no? Bago natin i-save, okay, punta muna tayo dito. Okay, let's see how far we can get today. All right. So what do you notice about this? You have this, hindi dash, but backticks, no? Backticks here at the start and then backticks at the end. That is called your, sulat para mas malaki. That is called your code chunk. Okay? It's called your code chunk. Okay? So, all right. Code chunk ang tawag dito. And then we have the backticks, and then we have these curly brackets, and then R. And then we have this setup, and then include, there's this code here, include is equal to false. And then may code pa dito. Okay. And then backticks to close the code chunk. All right. Now, we will not discuss yet everything that's in here. Ang gusto lang natin muna itong curly brackets na to. R tapos setup. Now, the word setup here is used as an index. Okay? Parang pangalan siya. It's the name of this code chunk. So why is that so? Imagine if you have a big file, RMD file, R markdown file. Okay? By the way, RMD, no? RMD. Oops. Uy, sorry. Doon pala ako. Okay. If you have a huge RMD file, so ang dami-dami mong code chunks. Kasi sa R markdown, yung mga codes, dinalagay natin sa code chunk. Okay? Unlike in an R script, diba, pag naglagay ka dyan ng code, kunyari, it's called X, diba yung kanina? X, and then yung assignment operator natin is, let's say, 1 up to 100. No? Yan. If I press X, if I print X, oops, sorry. Ano nangyari dito? Ay, hindi ko na-type to. Hindi na-run to. Yan. X, 1 to 100. Okay. And then if I print X, lalabas yung 1 to 100. Diba? Yung code dito natin lalagay sa source. The results are generated here in the console. Okay? Ang problema natin yan, ito yung document natin, no? Itong R source natin, yung script window. So, if we're going to print this, kailangan ikakopy pa natin yung result nang gagaling sa console dito, no? Right? Kunyari, let me just copy this, no? Control C, Control V. Diba? Kakopy pa natin kung gusto natin lumabas dito yung result ng particular code na to. Okay, which is very inconvenient. With the R markdown, that's not the case kasi ito yung ginagamit for publishing. Okay. So ito, yung code chunk na to, in order for it to be a code chunk, kailangan yung curly bracket na to at saka yung R. Okay? Ito, pwede na yan. Without this, it will run. No? Only that this code chunk, does not have a name. It does not have an index, which can be disadvantageous if you have, okay, let me do this. No? Okay, just to illustrate this, let's copy this, Control C, and Control V. Copy natin, tapos tanggalin ko yung elements dito. Okay. So this is a code chunk also. No? Code chunk siya. Yun nga lang, wala siyang index. So how will this differ now? Below, you'll have an indexation. If I click this, there. So tingnan nyo to, chunk 1, ito, di ba? Chunk 1, ito setup, pangalan niya. Chunk 2, yung ginawa natin, walang pangalan, di ba? So chunk 2 lang siya. So it does not have any index, it does not have any name. If I go here, my chunk 3, may pangalan cars. Let's click this. There, you can see here. So it's a code chunk. Okay, di ba? Backticks, tapos R, tapos yung pangalan cars, tapos close parentheses, close brackets, and then yung code natin, summary cars, and then backticks. Okay? All right. Now, let's go back to our difference. Dito sa R script, okay? If we type summary, small letter dapat, summary cars, okay. You remember the cars, the data that we used a while ago, yung may speed at saka distance. So we can access it anytime. And the summary function will give us the 5-number summary, 6-number summary. Control Enter. All right, so ito, no? So dito, you can see here the computation for the minimum, the maximum, the first quartile, the second quartile or the median, third quartile, kasama pa yung mean for the speed variable and also for the distance variable. So automatically, it was generated, no? And the output was written here in the console. If you want to print this, kasi kunyari, ang text editor natin, itong si ano, di ba? Itong si source window pane natin, ikakopy nyo pa. No? Right? Okay. So babalik lang ako dito. Now what happens? Okay. Okay. Before I run this, if you take a look again at the indexation here, diba? Chunk 3 cars, chunk 4 pressure. So let's suppose you have several chunks, thousands of them. How in the world are you going to find a particular chunk? If it's just like this, numbered chunk 2, chunk 3, chunk 4, at least ito nakalagay may index, no? Chunk 3 cars, chunk 4 pressure, diba? So going here again, chunk 3. So this is a code chunk. So in an R Markdown file, you have the option to put your codes in a code chunk. Okay, let's compare first. What if I don't put it in a code chunk? So let me copy summary and then cars. Okay, and let's run this code outside of the code chunk. So Control Enter. Okay, there was an output, but the output was shown in the console, diba? What if you put it inside the code chunk? Let's see. Run natin to. How do you run a code chunk? You either go here to the end of the line or highlight this, highlight the code, and then Control Enter, or you can run the current chunk, or you can run it from here. Yan, ito. But as long as your cursor should be here, your active cursor should be here. So i-run natin. Okay, what's the difference? Can you tell me, class, what's the difference between running a code chunk running a code outside of the code chunk and running a code inside a code chunk? What's the difference, class? The difference is, all right, correct. Thank you, Richard. The output is in the source here. So if you were working in this document and you needed the outputs to be there itself in the document itself, and then ito na yun, di ba? This one. Okay, let's try. Here, we have this function called plot pressure. Pressure is also another data set, okay, that comes packaged with R. And if we plot this, let's see, plot there, diba? It's here in the source window. The results are in the source window. Of course, you can also see it here in the plots. Okay, it should be here also. Sa plots, i-run ko ulit to, ha? Okay, hindi siya nag-appear dito. Dapat mag-appear siya dito. Okay, anyway, what's important here is that it's in the source window. All right. Okay, so let me backtrack a bit. Okay, so far clear ba, class? So far clear?
Sir, I have a minor question lang.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It's really minor lang, sir. The
Walang minor question dito. Lahat ng question dito importante, ha? Robbie?
yes,
Sige.
thank you, sir.
Okay.
For rows 25 to 26, on the right portion of the pane, there's a gear symbol, sir, and the parang drop-down arrow.
Which one? This
I
one?
don't, yes, sir. I don't think I can see that on my end, sir. That's something na.
Sige nga, i-share mo nga yung ano mo. I-share mo
Oh.
yung screen mo.
Wait, sir, kasi I'm using different devices for my ano.
Okay. By the way, Wilson, thank you for your feedback. No? Would need to review. Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm going to i-upload ko to sa YouTube. Okay? Paki-subscribe na lang, class. Support na lang. Paki-subscribe na lang sa YouTube channel ko. And then, paki-like na lang din, ha? Min, di ba? Ayan, tumatawa si Min. Okay, sige. Thank you. Dali, ano yung of course? OFC ba? Of course. Thank you, Richard. Sige, who was si Robbie ba yun? Robbie, could you kindly share your screen?
Yes, sir. Wait lang po.
Sige.
Oh,
Dapat
sure.
may gear icon dun.
Opo, sir. Parang hindi ko lang nakita, sir. How do I screen share? Share.
Am I sharing still my screen?
Ito, sir.
No, hindi na ako nakashare. Okay.
Etong-
All right. Kasi wait. Hindi siya hindi R markdown to, Robbie.
Hindi ako naka-mark.
This is
Sorry,
an R script.
sorry, my
Tingnan
bad,
mo,
sir.
Sige, sige. Go to the yung plus sign diyan, sige, plus. Sa baba, yan, plus. R
This
markdown. Yan, sige. Open ka niyan. Okay, sige. Kahit wag mo na muna lagyan ng title. Sige. Okay ka na.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, yan.
Okay.
Now, you'll know that it's an R markdown kasi makikita nyo may YAML sa taas, di ba? Yun.
Tama.
And then ito yung R, yung code chunk natin. Ando dun yung icon natin. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Good question. Yeah, salamat Salamat sa mga questions na ganyan kasi it really reinforces yung understanding natin na ng lesson natin. Thank you, Robbie.
Sure, thank you.
Sige. All right. So let me share my screen again. Okay. There are some functions here. Okay, ito. Kunyari ito, rsetup, no? Ito yung pangalan ng code chunk na to. And saan natin ginagamit to? For indexing. For easier reference later on, especially when we have grown our document to be quite big, no? And we would want to look at a particular code chunk. Kunyari, render natin, tapos may mali, no? Tapos sinasabi doon ni R na may mali dito sa code chunk na to. So maybe it will be difficult for us to look for that code chunk. So it will be helpful if we have instead of this ito chunk 2, no? Chunk 99, chunk 98, chunk 100. So generic masyado, walang pangalan. Lagyan natin ng pangalan para mas easier yung access. And of course, give it meaningful names. Okay. Ito, include is equal to false. So, comma, no? Include is equal to false. Ibig sabihin, no? Pag pinablish natin to, hindi irarun tong na to. So, this is just for knitting purposes. Okay? I'll explain knitting in a while. All right? And then here, okay, some notes here. All right. Nakita niyo tong outline dito sa side na to? Okay, do you have this, class? Okay. So, pwede yung itago naman yan, no? By clicking this, matatago siya. Or, okay. What's good about outlining in R is that this can be used for the table of contents. So, lagyan natin dito. One hashtag, kunyari, introduction to RStudio. Okay. One hashtag will represent a main heading. Okay. So, a second hashtag will mean parang subheading niya of this one. So you can have several. Let's put it, for example, let's put here, let's say another number 1. Okay, data visualization kunyari. Okay, so this is another main heading, and then under it is including plots. Pwedeng hanggang yan, hanggang, okay, let's put here. Nari dito, 1, 2, 3. Third is using pressure dataset. Okay, so this will be under this one. Okay, baka may question. All right. Okay, so you notice that the outline keeps on updating, di ba? Ito, introduction to R, and under that is R Markdown, and then another main heading, data visualization. Under it is including plots. Under including plots is using pressure dataset. Okay. All right. So let's say you have completed the document, and you need to print this now. Okay, how do we print this? So up on the up tab, you have here knit, no? Ito yung kagandahan class ng R Markdown. Kasi sa R script, R script lang, okay, walang knitting, hindi man-knit yung document. You cannot knit the document. It's only an R Markdown where you can knit the document. So what happens is that R uses the package knitr, tapos may process yan, pupunta niya to another package, pandoc, and then saka ininit, no, to generate the final output. So let's take a look at this. Knit natin siya, no? Knit. Okay, let's knit it to HTML. Okay, and then it will ask you kung saan isa-save. Okay, dito na lang muna, trial 1. Okay, we will talk about where it is saved in the next session na lang, no? Trial 1, save. Once it saves, class, magre-render na dito yan. Tingnan nyo sa console. Okay. Once it saves yan, nagpa-process na siya. Processing file trial 1. Yan. Okay. And then this will now appear. It's now the output. Yan. Take a look, class. Di ba? Ang linis. And wala pa yan, ha? Wala pa yan, class. Pwede pa nating pagandahan yan. So this was the title, di ba? Title, main author, and then the okay? Tapos hindi nasama yung include is equal to false, di ba, sa taas? And then introduction to RStudio, under it is R Markdown. Okay, and then ito yung sinasabi natin. Lumabas yung output natin. Okay? Unlike dun sa R script na kaka-copy paste pa natin yun. Ito automatic. Okay, and then you can also have the plot here. Yan. Okay. I think it's almost time. Were you able to generate this, class? Paki-yes naman, please. Oh. Okay, my execution halted. Sige, tingnan natin Blaze yan. All right, sige. Before we go, Blaze, can you kindly... actually, parang Jupyter Notebook, yes. Okay, Blaze, can you kindly share your screen? Stop share ako. Tingnan natin kung bakit nag-stop. Kasi baka may opportunity to learn tayo doon. Okay. Anong sabi dyan? Processing file, error in... Okay. Sabi dito, duplicate chunk label setup. Okay, sige, akyat ka nga. Go up sa code chunk natin. Oh, nagdalawa, no? Pareho siya. Okay, tanggalin mo yung isa. Okay, yan, tanggalin mo siya. Yan. Yung sa akin kasi, walang setup, no? Control Z mo, Control Z, sorry. Control Z. Okay, lesson here, class. Hindi pwede ang isang code chunk na parehong pangalan. Okay, kaya sabi niya, yan, no? Sabi niya dyan, duplicate chunk label set. Hindi pwedeng pareho yung yung set, yung pangalan. So, kung gusto mo setup pa rin yan, maybe you can use setup 1, etc. Sige, gawin mong setup 1 yan. Yung pangalawa. There.
This one, sir.
Yeah, sige. So, magkaiba na yan, di ba? Sige, knit ulit natin. Knit. Yan. Yan. See? Yan na, no?
Ayun. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that question. Okay, so just one last thing, class, before we go. Okay, di ba na-generate na to, no? Now, you can actually publish this in our, okay, publish document, pwede dito. Pwede nating ma-publish sa RPubs. No?
Sir,
Okay,
nawala ko yung share screen.
sorry. Okay. Uh, di ba ito na, no? Cancel ko muna. Ito na yung ano natin, yung document natin. We can publish this. Publish document, ito, RPubs. Pero kailangan mo na mag-ano. I haven't tried RStudio Connect, pwede rin yata ito. No? RPubs, freeware to, no? Free service naman to. So you can, but you have to register first. Okay? So, kunyari, nakapag-register na kayo, free naman yung registration, tapos i-publish nyo na doon, tapos you can now send to anyone yung output mo. Ando doon na yun. So, may isang project na gagawin natin yun. So, ipapublish yun sa RPubs. Okay? All right. So, that will be feedback muna, class. Kamusta naman? How is our first day? Feedback kung mabilis ba ako or ano para I can adjust. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Wilson. Okay. Super super solid, prof. Hindi ba baka solid proof yan. Thank you, Robbie. Insightful. Thank you. Sam, thank you. Tam, thank you. All right. I hope the pace is okay. Thank you, sir. Nakakasunod. Okay, good. Okay. Ipapost ko yung ano natin, yung kasi masters na tayo, no? Ipapost ko yung video natin. Tapos, I'm going to post another video on the continuation. Para parang asynchronous natin yung first meeting na na-miss natin. Siguro yun na lang yung make-up natin, no? It's a continuation on how to navigate through our studio, and then yung mga coding doon kung paano gagawin. Okay? So that for next meeting, I would assume that you have watched the video and medyo na-increase na yung, na-augment na yung learning natin. No? Okay? All right. Yeah, it's very exciting. Really. Exciting to learn. Siyempre, may mga portions na medyo parang nakakalito yung ano. It's okay kasi ganun talaga eh, no? May learning curve talaga to. But if you keep on to it, and then yung tipong itong skill na to, pagkatapos itong subject na to, ayoko nang tingnan. Pag hindi ganun, and then if you keep on increasing, you'll reach a point na very comfortable na kayo sa paggamit ng R and RStudio. Okay? All right. One last thing before we go. Okay, just to show you. Okay. After R Markdown, okay, ito na yung kasunod, no? Ito, si Quarto document. All right, let me just show you the power of Quarto document. Ang title na lang, create. Okay. Tingnan nyo, medyo iba na yung interface, ano? Okay, na iba na yung YAML, no? Okay, so R Quarto, tapos medyo na iba na yung, naiba na yung code siya, no? Medyo naiba na, no? So may mga changes. So this was really meant to enhance and improve si R Markdown. Tingnan yung difference, ha? Si R Markdown, okay? Wala siya mga tabs dito, no? Pagdating dito, kasi sa R Markdown, you can put here images, figures, etc. Pictures, pwede. Kaso may coding pa muna yon. Dito, class, tingnan nyo to. Pwede na, may format na dito. May insert. Ano i-insert mo? Mag-i-insert ka ng LaTeX math. Mag-i-insert ka ng mga call-outs yan. Imagine mga call-outs. Figures, images, table. Andito na. Linagay na dito. Table also. So the Quarto, it's the next big thing. But we have to learn RMD first. And then migrate to Quarto. So I hope that excites you more, no? So if you want to learn more about Quarto, may mga tutorial na naman. Pero I suggest R Markdown muna para mas smooth yung transition natin to Quarto. Okay? All right. With that, let me stop recording.